All right, I have 6 o'clock. I'd like to call the planning board meeting to order for September 8th, 2025. I'm Ed Ingles, present. Marshall Goldberg.
Here.
Stephen Berry.
Here.
Leah Gage.
Here.
Mark Lofgren.
Here.
Jim Lowry.
Here.
Rick Sacker.
Here.
Great, we're all present, and we have quorum. And no alternates tonight. As far as announcements, we had one piece of mail that we will deal with further on in the agenda here. So approval of minutes from August 11th. I think everybody saw a copy of that Leah sent around. Is there any discussion around those minutes or corrections?
I had a couple of comments, just a couple of little edits. If people agree, at the bottom of page 1, on the Agricultural Commission, about the comment, Ms. Cantrell wondered if there could be an Agricultural Commission. She was directed to attend, instead of saying just to attend a Board of Selectmen meeting, thought maybe we should say to raise this issue at a Board of Selectmen meeting. I think the point was that if she wants to talk about that, it's the selectmen that would make the decision.
Yep, I agree.
The other comment I had was just that the page and a half on the, I guess it was really just a page, on the state representatives. Maybe it's a little more detailed than I would normally think we need, though I think it was accurate. At a minimum, I guess I would suggest taking out the direct quote in the middle. I think there's one place where we have a direct quote.
Yeah, I see it.
Councilor Kenny said.
Maybe you just say, I mean, you could take the bullet out or just say, he said, Councilor Kenny said that he would fight to keep local control.
Okay.
And people want to hear what they actually said, they could watch. The other edit I had was at the bottom of that page, where the last bullet, the last sentence says the representatives issued a warning, etc. I think I would take that sentence out. It just sounded a little too,
Kind of clunky.
well, it just sounded kind of threatening almost. I don't know if that's the way they would characterize what they said. And then maybe, so if we took that sentence out, the next bullet is about the comment from Mr. Comeau, and then maybe right after that, say the representatives indicated that state law will override town ordinances when the two don't agree.
Yeah, I think those are all good edits. Normally we just try to capture the essence of what's going on in the meeting without specific quotes and a lot of detail. I think just given that we don't have the state reps here very often, there was probably more detail in this meeting. But yeah, I agree. I wouldn't necessarily put a quote in there. And then I like the change that, because it does say the state will file suit against us. Wouldn't necessarily file suit against us, right? So it should be more that they override.
Yeah, and again, I mean, it's good. That was great. They were here, and this will give people a flavor. If they read it, if they want to hear what they said, they can go and watch.
Okay.
Any other comments? Can I get a motion to approve the minutes pending the changes?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No minute changes. Public comments. Ed? See, no. All right. resident complaint, so we got a piece of mail, I guess it originally went to the selectmen and the planning board, and the selectmen responded. And this relates to a resident complaint about Frosty Brewery. At this point, it's been referred to Laura? Is that-
Yes, we responded to the complaint. They didn't like our response, so they came back with another letter saying our response was inadequate, so we forwarded that to the attorney.
And what was the complaint about?
Frosty Brewery not following the correct process for licensing.
Oh, okay.
So that's pending. Anything new on the soccer field?
Yeah.
No. So last we heard, it's maybe going to be at Moose Mountain, not up on Robinson, right?
Last I heard, they were interested in Robinson, and if that fell through, I don't know anything about it.
Leah, you know anything more?
He dropped it and hasn't said anything else about it.
Okay. SRPC road report summary.
So, Chris Kinville did a great job in working with Steve at SRPC to do that whole assessment. So hopefully the selectmen have seen a copy.
Oh,
of
yes, we've
that.
seen a copy. A lot of good information.
A lot of good stuff there, especially I think in terms of maintenance
Yes.
and what the future costs of maintenance will
It's a
be.
great planning document.
Exactly
Lays it out for 10 years, how much money just to maintain
what we have.
what we have.
So, have you guys all received a copy of that?
Got it by email. Yeah.
There's a AI summary in your packet. If you don't want to read the whole thing, but I encourage you to read the whole thing.
Perfect. So also, we're doing a little traffic study as well. Right? For, I think, Lyford Road.
Lyford and Moose.
And Moose.
And Chris reported that we had about 500 vehicles a day on Moose Mountain Road, covering all 24 hours. There wasn't a dull period. Lyford was pretty quiet from midnight to 4 a.m. And the total volume on Lyford was down. Now, we don't know what part of Lyford they actually monitored, whether it was.
I do. It was just before Clark Road. If you come from the
On
dirt road
this,
in.
on this, our side, down.
No, on the other side.
Coming from the dirt road.
Coming from
down the
dirt
hill.
road, just before Clark Road.
Okay. I don't know what that number was, though.
I don't
It
remember the
wasn't
number.
500.
It's 400.
400? Wow.
So what was the point of the study?
We didn't understand what the traffic was on some of our roads. For example, we didn't recognize that. Moose Mountain could be the busiest road in town. So that was a news item to us.
Interesting.
Town road, right? We have Governor's Road, 109, and part of Lyford are state roads. So-
Lyford up to Clark.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a state
where there's
road.
a double line, that's state. So there's questions whether we want to pave Lyford. And there's a section that we're trying to discuss whether we want to pave that or not.
Based on, we're talking about roads here, can you just comment on the numbers around Moose Mountain Bridge and the culvert on Tumbledown?
Yes, we had a meeting with the engineering company. Their analysis of cost was $175,000 for the engineering permits and surveying for Moose Mountain, and $200,000 for the engineering permitting and site work, no, not site work, all, what's the right word?
Planning.
Planning and design.
Permits and design, yeah.
For Tumbledown. He thought ballpark numbers, planning numbers, you need another couple $100,000 to fix Moose Mountain. And you need another, I think he said twice that for Tumbledown. Big bucks. He thought it might be wise to replace them, and I said, why? And he said, because it's a little narrow. And when you consider replacing it, now it jumps up to over $2 million. So that's a big jump for the town. So we're going to talk about it at our October selectmen's meeting as to whether we want to move forward with at least the engineering and design work for Moose Mountain. I think there was just a feeling that we can't do both at one time, the numbers are just too big.
Are they both rated?
There is no bridge on Tumble there, it's just a flooding issue.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The other one is red, and he showed us pictures, and it's pretty well eroded underneath the wing wall in the foundation.
And we're looking into maybe a FEMA grant for tumble down and possibly some kind of state.
He indicated there might be a grant available.
All right.
In the road report, quickly, I didn't see anything in the road report on bridges yet.
I think they just looked at asphalt.
I'm sorry?
They only measured asphalt. I don't even think they did life or dirt. They looked at the condition of the blacktop.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So how much money do we spend on the dirt part of Lyford Road every year? I don't know. Is there?
We graded 3 times,
No.
so you run a grader over it.
Got it.
Gets full of potholes, slows people down, maybe.
Maybe.
Other thoughts on roads? And we'll get to the master plan shortly, but we're going to have a map in there that we just had laid out here.
Oh, right. So, as part of that meeting I had with the SRPC Thursday, I said, what about the roads? And so they got me a map from the DOT, and that's what was out here. And we're gonna, the selectmen, I guess, are gonna mark it up and approve it, and then we'll get that, color-coded, what each road is.
Want to put the class 6 roads, want to put the actual name of the roads, not the abbreviations, want to put the scenic roads. I think they're the main points.
And aren't there a few roads that haven't been named, that should be named?
Don't know. We have roads that have multiple names, so we're trying to
Clean that up.
yes.
There's that other map that we had somewhere, forget when I was looking at it. That they basically took the snowmobile club map and overlaid it, so it says like Route 22, which is the snowmobile
Oh.
trail name.
I think that's the 911 map we're not allowed to use.
Yes, but that
That
has,
has all the road names though.
it does. But it also calls it by the snowmobile club's number as well, because you might be
Right.
calling 911 and say, I'm on Trail 22 or whatever,
Right.
which makes sense. So it's confusing. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Moose Mountain. So we got a finding on the lawsuit. Mark, you want to just summarize?
Sure, yeah, so the lawsuit was filed back in the spring, I guess, against the town by the Moose Mountain LLC, objecting, complaining about how the process was handled by the planning board and the town, complaining about some miscommunication, complaining about not being approved for everything that they wanted to be approved for. And there was a hearing, and the decision came back a couple weeks ago now, and we won. The board, the court found that the timing was correct, that the process was handled appropriately. There's one minor point where the court said we need to go back, the planning board needs to go back and redo some of the conditions. We had conditions on noise, we had a condition on special event operations and
Building permits.
building permits. Those are not really controversial according to the court, but they need to be defined better in planning board's ruling. So there is a chance that the other side can appeal. They have until September 25th is our understanding. They haven't appealed yet. So I think once they either appeal or don't, then we'll know what if they don't appeal, then we can follow through with what the court wanted us to do, which is to have a new hearing and refine those conditions.
Any other thoughts from anyone?
I think that covers it.
Great. Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
Okay, budget. So Marshall, I guess this is you again. You want to just touch base on the
Yes.
SFPC budget?
So in your packet is a note I received this morning.
The very last thing,
And,
Cleaning services agreement.
so basically, we had a long conversation about what we wanted, and I made it clear that, we really didn't want to exceed $7,500. So the budget, it's not to exceed, and there's a lot of things in there that I think would cost a lot of money that I don't think we need to do, which is, if you guys go to the master plan and go to the page, it's where the land use diagram is on like 206, let's see, 205-11.
The map.
Yeah. So the question that they had for us was, is this map developed as an actual representation of what the area is in land use? Or is it a future vision of what we would like it to be? And I wasn't clear on what the answer to that was.
shouldn't they know since they prepared the map for us?
Well, it was 2006, maybe those people aren't even here anymore.
That's true.
And most of them are on the younger side, so I would guess they were maybe born then.
It indicates the title on the map isn't adequate, right? You can't tell what you're looking at.
Right. And I think, that whole triangle that denotes park and facilities proposed, I think that was from a long time ago. So if we're not going to do that, we probably should remove that triangle.
Yeah, I would propose that we have it as of now, whenever this master plan gets voted on.
Yeah.
So anything proposed probably shouldn't be in there because there's a lot of discussion around
Right.
proposed, maybe there's going to be a commercial district, down in the corner here. I don't think we want that on this map. I think it should be as of.
So it should be actual.
And we do need to update it for the 5-acre stuff.
Okay.
So all this, the white area is actually 5 acres, so
Got it.
there's an overlay district for workforce, which maybe should be dealt with on a separate map.
Right. We don't want it to be too busy.
Yeah.
Separate. Okay. So I would, so for example, going back to the quote there, it talks about maps and stuff. And my understanding is that if we're a member of the Stafford County, which we pay our dues for, typically maps, to do a map should be free. Okay. But if they have to create a map, we have to pay. So the origination of all of these maps, I think, is the next step. Let's just make sure that the maps in this master plan, A, do we want to add any new maps, right? And then B, are these maps accurate? Or is this, are we comfortable with them, right? So I think that's just a group effort at this point, other than the selectmen looking at the roads and then looking at this workforce overlay to make sure it's accurate or redone.
And we're trying to find the source map. I mean, we're not working by an 8.5 by 11. There's got to be a map that's a reasonable size for us to look at.
Right.
And we're looking for those maps. I thought they came out of SRPC. They think they come from our debt map for, so we're going to resolve that.
So on that workforce,
Yes.
it would be very confusing because the scenic road here is also where the workforce housing overlay is. And it's, the scenic road is a very thin line. The workforce housing is going to be a 500-foot buffer around those. So
Yeah,
it probably should be on a different map for that reason alone.
right. Is this too busy the way it is?
I don't think so.
And we can get these in colors.
So the question is, what's it trying to show? Is there a title on it?
Well, it's Town of Brookfield Master Plan,
Land use.
land use.
Grid North.
I'm sorry?
Grid North.
Oh.
New Hampshire State Plain. Well, I think a lot on the rural, residential and agricultural, where we got the little squares, most of that's state-owned land.
Well, that was my point earlier, we don't even show state-owned land on that.
Yeah, that's,
So we
most of that's
should.
up there.
I think we should.
Yeah,
It's a fair
because-
part of the town.
Yeah,
Right.
you can't do anything with it.
Can't even tax it.
I know.
I found another one
So maybe work with them and get some combination of,
Well, I think
Detail, but not too
what we'll
confusing.
do is, why don't you take a look, let's do the roads thing, because that's pretty straightforward, right? So let's do that one first, and then look at the workforce overlay, if we can find it, which I'm sure we can,
Or make it up, it's 500 feet.
revise it,
Can you get another source map, or we got one?
meaning that particular map, I'm sure I can ask for.
Could you?
Yeah.
Because we have to be very neat with spelling and clear.
Yeah. So you want another map of that road map? Okay. I thought do you want this if they have it?
If they have the whole thing, if they have.
Well, if they have them all, I should get them all printed.
Yes,
Okay.
as large as possible.
anything else, guys?
Well, Marshall, did you say you think that there are certain maps they should provide to us even without this agreement?
Yes.
And is that,
Yes.
because on this agreement, they're charging over
I know.
$4,000 for a map, so it'd be good to clarify.
Well,
Get which,
all of this says it's negotiable,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Because it is. And I plan to. For sure.
Okay.
I will work them over, as it were, within reason. I mean, if we ask for customized maps, we should pay for those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sure.
So my only question to the group is when Steve, you had a lot of stats,
Mhm.
and that was on the two roads, correct?
Yes.
Wentworth Road,
Mhm.
broken down by acreage,
Correct.
right?
I took that directly off of the AGS website and shows all of the parcels within Brookfield. They're right down into acreage and a lot of other information I wasn't concerned with.
So I guess the question is, do we have any interest in quantifying some of this stuff? In other words, you look at our town. So how much of our town is agricultural? I don't know, 1%, I don't know. I mean, it's stuff like that, high level, big picture. If you guys think that's not appropriate for master planning, I'm fine with that. If you think, all I'm trying to think of is, what do we want to know and have at the tip of our fingers? You know, how many 2-acre lots are there? How many 5, I mean, I don't know if that's data that we want or not. So I just open it up to you guys.
On these two roads I looked at, I have all that information.
Right.
Governor's Road and one I did not look at any of the others.
But it exists.
Yeah, it exists. Fairly easy to pull out, including what the state of New Hampshire owns.
Well, the master plan is supposed to be a guide for where we want to go.
Yes.
The information is very interesting. Hate to lose it, but I'll make sure it goes in the master plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I put it in the really nice to know category, but I think it's a lot of work. You probably spent a few hours doing what you did, and that's
Yeah,
20% of the town.
yeah. It was fun. Well, for me.
It's fine with me, I'm just throwing it out there. I have a burning desire to create more work.
If you want me to do it for the state of New Hampshire, I can easily do that and forward it on to whoever wants it.
Would the selectmen use that?
No, but I was thinking it might be nice to put on our website under planning board, here's the existing zoning and makeup of the town. I mean, it's good information.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we table that as information? Because the SRPC is not gonna help us with that
Yeah.
anyway. And then we can go back to it. Let's at least focus on master planning, get it done, and not include that kind of stuff for this.
Is there just a map on the AGS, is it?
Sure.
Or is there a table where you can throw a spreadsheet, sort?
It's a map, but it breaks it down to every parcel that there is.
Yeah, but you have to click on each one individually, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if they have it in the table. They have the numbers. I wonder if you can get an XLS out of it.
That I'm not certain. If they could, then we could easily find the places that did not have any information. Because I found another one of those last week and handed it off to Bob so he can find out, okay, who really owns it, so we can get more money.
Do we have a contact, do you know, at AGS? Is it AGS? Is it right?
He does.
Lee, would you check with him and just see if we can maybe get some better data besides something online that you have to click on each individual property?
Yes.
So the other thing is, on the implementation plan, you know, at the end, I told them that I wanted blanks of this, so we could fill in the strategy, if we, you know. So this was all very old and, like most documents, put away, and I'm all for having some action items we can do over the next 3 to 5 years.
We must have this digitally, right, somewhere?
Yeah, and if it's, I just thought it'd be a pain.
I would suggest just edit what we have, because it's easier to edit than create.
Well, yeah, except I think most of the stuff isn't applicable from what I've read.
Yeah, so we can
Yeah,
get rid of
get rid
it.
of it.
Okay, get rid of these three and edit this one.
Yeah, however you want to
Keep
keep
it
it
simple.
simple. But we haven't done that piece yet, so
Yeah.
just to be aware. And then on economic development 2.09-1, do we really even need this section? Or do we not? Or probably?
Depends how much you want your taxes to go up.
Which one, 2.09?
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't. Rich, what do you think?
I'm sorry, I couldn't find anything.
209-1.
It's almost in the back end.
It's just one page about economic development, and it doesn't really say anything because we haven't filled it out yet.
Looks like that.
Well, I talked to the assessor about the value of a commercial district. And effectively, he's saying, there's no big impact to the tax rate by having a commercial district. You're not going to have a Walmart, a large distribution center, a big manufacturing. You're going to have some small, maybe a strip mall, some small manufacturing. And he pointed out that the nice building on the corner of 109 and White Mountain Highway, the old medical,
Yeah.
it's assessed at $200,000, $2 million. $2 million. That's a nice number, but it's not enough to make a real significant impact on our tax base. You need a lot of those to impact the tax base. I mean, a lot of that, well, a lot. Some of the houses on the lake are $2 million. So you can put another nice house on the lake and you get the same payback as a commercial structure. So he was saying it's just, the relief you think you're going to get from a commercial district may not be there.
And that one's been vacant for a while.
Pardon me?
Not for nothing, but that one's been vacant for a while too.
Yes, yes.
So they could default on that payment.
Yes. And he has a number of towns that he does the assessing for. It's just, we're not going to get the relief we think people are going to get.
Well, especially given it would be such a small area anyway, right?
And what would go in, it's not going to be a big manufacturing or a clean industry. It's going to be a condo of some sort.
So what do people think? Should we put something in there for economic development or just say that what you just said?
Why don't you just take the whole section out?
Take it out?
I'd be inclined to take it out too.
Is there any other thing in here that deals with home occupations?
ADUs, no,
Not ADU, but home occupations.
not that I remember.
Not
Not
specific.
master
I
plan.
didn't think so, when I read it through. So,
It doesn't have.
They're mentioned in the zoning, not home master plan.
in the zoning, okay,
Yeah, it's
I think that's good
not
enough.
in this,
Economic development, just, if you're gonna leave it in there, just make it a statement saying that maintaining a rural atmosphere with home office or, yeah, home business.
Home occupation.
Yeah,
Well, you could, I suppose you could put it right here, and then under land use areas, you know, rural, just mention,
Yeah,
you know, a certain or something that says here.
in the land use.
In this part.
209.
Well, stop there.
And maybe just add a C or add it as part of the A or something, and just talk about it.
Yeah, I think that would work.
I think it would be good to put something like Steve just mentioned in there. We didn't ignore it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we're keeping the section or adding a paragraph under land use?
We're going to get rid of the section and add it under land use. That we encourage home-based businesses or whatever.
Thank you.
Probably has to go in both.
yeah. Because we really don't
One and
have
two.
the property acreage for any large business.
So we'll take another look at that section. We had, you and I can do that.
Okay.
So Rich, do we have a capital improvement plan?
We do not have a capital improvement. We voted that down a few years ago. But we didn't put one in this year, we dropped it. But we'll put it in again next year. It's a table indicating what major expenses we see coming into town. So it's got 4 or 5 entries in it. The townhouse, the roads, the salt shed. That's about the extent of it.
Got it. So those expenses come along every 20 years of that magnitude? Is that fair to say?
Well, when we started, there was a lot of work to do in the townhouse. So we had a plan where every year we were working on the townhouse. That's pretty well buttoned up now with respect to weather type.
Right.
So now we're looking at roads again,
Yeah.
bridges again, the salt shed needs work.
Yeah.
That's the extent of
Tenth
it.
of it. Right. And so how we deal with those expenses, is that we do a warrant article saying we need X amount of money for, and then we assess based on that amount, or how does that work?
So we raise the money and it goes into the tax rate.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
so it,
Once we say we're gonna spend it at the town meeting, then we raise the money for taxes.
got it. So then we say it's gonna affect it by X percent as a general rule or
So
something?
the current numbers say that for every planning number, every 100,000 you spend is about 50 cents on your tax rate.
Okay.
So we're talking about a bridge for 200, that's $1 on the rate.
Right,
That's a big hit on the rate.
right.
Mhm.
Got
And that was just the engineering study.
Yes. Thank you, yes.
We need to try to get more engineers into Brookfield
Yeah.
and see if they can do a little donation.
It's interesting.
All right, so I think we need to approve this budget for these guys.
it. I don't think so.
We're gonna make a motion for
I would like to make a motion for the SRPC to help us in our master plan for $7,500, not to exceed $7,500.
Okay, and that would run in 2026 or from September to?
September to December, because they're saying, A, they need the billing, and B, we want the input fast. So we
Okay.
can we're both going in the same direction.
And we have that money in this year's budget.
Correct. I thought we had,
And
We have more, but yeah.
we had,
Anybody want to second that, or
Second?
any discussion, further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, 7,500 to be spent in Q4, or I guess from now, including Q4 through Q4.
yes.
And we also need to do a budget for the town, right, Rich, by
Yes.
October something or other?
soon,
Can we do that next meeting, October 13th or whatever? Or we need it before that?
October 7th 's the due date.
He didn't answer my question.
we get a few more days, yes. When we can do it in October, that's fine. I mean, what's gonna change on it, right? The
I
question
don't think it's going to change, but I'd rather not vote on it today if we can
Oh,
have
okay.
people think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
How much was the budget last year?
18,200
10,000 was for SRPC,
for planning board.
Okay.
so you take,
And this 7,500 is going to be one time.
One time in this year's budget.
Right.
5.
Right.
So we should need them. The only service, and we could call Wakefield, but Jen, who is the director of the SLPC, she has a deal with Wakefield. So whenever they have an issue, they send it to her first and get comments and help and coaching. And I think it's an annual fee that she charges.
we pay our dues, is that part of the dues or no?
I would be shocked if it was, but I can confirm and ask if there's any interest. No harm in asking, I guess. And I guess the question would be, she'll come to meetings if you need it, just like our attorney does, but instead of charging $300 an hour or whatever it is, it's $75 an hour or whatever it is. So I can always look into that.
Where does the legal, planning board legal,
Selectmen cover it.
you get covered? All right, so if you're okay with us talking about it and promising you that we'll vote on it next meeting, that's okay?
That's fine.
Can we get a better breakdown than what this is?
Yeah.
And if you need something for planning purposes, I would just use last year minus the 7,500.
We're okay.
And we'll-
I mean, the only thing I can think of is training.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I can think of.
yeah, we've got a miscellaneous 750 on here. I don't know what that is, but. Yeah, if we could maybe just send around a little more detail from Joanne
Yeah.
for next meeting, rather than just put it on people now with some ignorance. Anything else on the budget? Great. Okay, rules of procedure. I'm sure everybody has intimate knowledge of these. And these appendices, we are all
Untouched.
untouched so far. So I guess for now, just kind of ignore the appendices, but would anybody be averse to sending this rewrite over to Laura to make sure everything's consistent with the RSAs?
So I guess the question is, I don't know what changed.
Everything that's highlighted in gray is what I changed.
Oh.
So I'm looking for where we say we have to post in the newspaper.
We actually don't.
We don't say that we have to post. We pull that out.
I think we did.
I believe so.
That would be excellent.
The RSA now says you, as long as it's on your website
Yes.
and in prominent with a link, and then 2 public places.
Yes. But I
Which would be,
thought I
one
heard
would be
you
here,
say-
and I think one is next door there.
Yep, the kiosk next door.
Yeah.
But I thought I heard that our rules of procedure used to require that.
They currently do, yes. In a newspaper of general circulation.
Not the revision one, right?
Right,
Yeah. We're taking it out of the revision.
yes,
That's what I
It
was
doesn't
saying.
have to be in a newspaper anymore. Is that
Right.
what you're saying?
yes.
Yes.
Unless it's in our rules of procedure, so we take it out.
Which would take it out of
There
there,
you
yes.
go, yeah.
Yes,
That's
that's
my
right.
point.
You don't need me to look up the RSA, right?
No.
No, okay. I just did when we had the prior meeting, but not meeting, I should say. Rules of procedure. So let's move forward with sending this over to Laura.
Great.
And, you know, the caveat that the appendices will be consistent with whatever comes back. Any other thoughts, rules of procedure? Richard, did you have a chance to look at it?
Mhm.
Been in other boards and whatever?
I read it before I came here.
No comments? That's good.
Mr. Chairman,
Sir?
I sent out the AI analysis for the discrepancies between the RSAs and the existing rules of procedure, just glanced that over. It was pretty much uniform, except I think for 2 weak points.
Do you recall what they were?
It's in your email.
Yeah.
I think it was the number of days that we already know is incorrect.
There was a 60 and 65 or
Yeah,
something.
it was that, and I can send it again if you don't have it, but I said,
No, we haven't. Maybe, can you just include that when you send it
Yeah.
to Laura?
How much do we generate in revenue from application fees? Would you guess? Or do you know? I don't know about the budget. Any ideas?
Maybe, well, how many checks do we get? We only got a few checks for $300-400. You mean planning board applications?
Yeah, not much at all.
Yeah, only when somebody applies for a subdivision or a lot line adjustment, some activity, and we don't have that many.
It's rounding error, and $1.5 million budget.
I would think so.
The intent is supposed to cover the mailings.
Oh, is that how the pricing came about?
Who sets those rates on select minimums?
You guys, I believe, us.
So I say price increase, but it's just me.
Ka-ching!
It doesn't really much anyway. As long as we're not losing money.
It's close.
Maybe we should look at other towns and kind of
Mm-hmm.
I'm just throwing it out there.
compare.
Well, we're quite stable.
we raised a lot of the rates this past fall, you need a public hearing. So we gathered all the rates from the various departments and had the public hearing and modified our rates.
Oh, so you did that recently?
Yes, we have no input from the planning board last year, so I don't think the planning board numbers changed.
I don't remember even talking about that, but, okay. Any other thoughts on that? So rules of procedure we'll send along to Laura. And hopefully we can vote on it next meeting. All right. Master plan. Sorry, the historic resources, is that?
Still haven't gotten it.
We're waiting on historic resources.
I'm sorry.
We're waiting on historic resources. Which,
Who's doing that?
Mary Lou,
Oh,
She said the only thing she was adding to what we already had was
packet
Town.
site stuff,
the town
preserve.
preserve. Is not really
She wants to add the
mentioned.
packet site to it. As a historic resource.
Which reminds me, on our,
Wait a minute, remember this is supposed to be a forward looking? And what we had with the Heritage Commission before was quite a nice history.
it's
that we-
beautiful.
That we pulled
I
apart.
thought we were done.
Yes, that we pulled apart and put most of the history as an attachment.
Appendix, yes, we
Yeah,
did.
and so
I thought we were done.
I thought we were done also.
So the only thing she's working on is the town preserve.
Part of the Heritage,
I guess so.
I have no idea. This is the first I heard of it.
Well, you know about the town preserve.
Oh, I know about that, but I didn't know.
It's, I guess it's under the Historical Society, I guess. I thought it was under, I thought Frank was doing that.
Selectmen are responsible.
The selectmen are responsible, okay. So where do you want that to be in the master plan? I guess, should it be in, should we designate something on a map here that identifies the town preserve?
Ed?
There's a natural resource index.
Section.
Is there a historic resource index?
There's a section, yes.
It's an index where you list assets like you would with the natural resource index.
That's one of the implementation strategies. Prepare and maintain an inventory of all historic buildings and other resources.
Okay, that's what I
I'm
think.
not sure it's been done.
No, but I'm saying that's what I think Mary
Where
Lou
is
should, maybe that's what Mary Lou was thinking about. That's what I'm saying. Is she wants to work on that index
Yep.
for historic assets.
And that would be great if we get it. Append it to the
No,
master plan.
If we, yeah, appendices, if we get it.
I don't think it should necessarily be in the body of this.
No,
This is more evergreen, not what our inventory is now.
appendage is, I think, is the appropriate spot, because we're telling generalities to start with.
Right.
And,
And then when we get it, we put it in there, and then if it gets done 5 years again,
yeah,
you update it.
But shouldn't it be on our maps somewhere? In one of our maps, land use maps? No.
I don't think we need it. It's not.
well, if we go ahead
Is
and
it?
mark in the property is owned by the state, we can mark in the property is owned by Brookfield.
Is it?
As soon as you do it, yes. I'll identify it for you.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to throw it in something.
You know, if we can show where, you know, the properties that the state owns, then we can also show the properties that Brookfield owns, because those are primarily taken out of residential and agricultural.
But that's, we can take a snapshot, that's dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Every year we pick up additional properties that people don't pay taxes on. So that's a dynamic number. I guess all in is dynamic.
Yeah.
Next next time you pick up a house, we can have the engineer move in for free and do the engineering study.
We don't like houses. We like land. We don't like land either, but keep it on the tax rolls. We don't want it.
So I guess we're just waiting on whether she's gonna give us something or not, I guess is what it boils down to.
Yeah, but I don't think we need it
Right. We don't
now,
know.
if we can,
Right,
kind of vote on this as is
we can pass it.
after SRPC looks at it and Laura looks at it.
So are we good to send it to both now?
Well, do you wanna, I mean, the maps are, we don't know if the maps are.
Maps aside,
Maps aside, okay, verbiage.
Who would you send it to?
Laura and the SRPC.
Well, SRPC already has it, because I sent it to them.
The most recent version?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So they could see whatever, you know,
Yep.
size, what
Okay.
they're gonna have.
So let's send it to Laura, and she said she would turn around the rules of procedure and this as soon as possible.
But we're gonna make an addition on economics, right? Another sentence or so?
The economic
Yeah.
development,
Yep. Is that bullet?
we were going to add it to the prior, get rid of the economic development
We're gonna put another bullet under.
portion and put a bullet about home-based businesses.
You got that? Okay.
And Appendix D 204.1,
Yeah.
this guy? Oop, this guy? I can get that updated, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because that's from 06.
It's paying for that data according to our budget.
Yeah, right.
Although it was bad data last time we got it, so.
Well, I'm sure it will be as accurate as this.
And just so everybody knows, I think we sort of just made up some numbers about population based on past trends.
Yeah, that was one of my questions in the beginning.
Right, you got that, your notes.
I mean, well, yeah, is that not done for film? Doesn't the SRPC or someone do
Yeah, the
that?
thing I handed out to you
Yeah.
was all the data. It's not in here because it's going to be an appendix.
Because what?
It's going to be an appendix.
Oh, okay.
Or we
Put
can,
it,
whatever section.
you can put in a lot of it on city data too.
There you go.
So the last one,
That's the most current.
okay, this is the most current. And it said, it says in 2022, we have 774 people.
Close.
2050, we're going to have 804 people. We already are above that, so.
Well, I don't think we're above it today. You think we are?
804? I don't think so. Oh, you know better than I do. I thought it was 820 or 815.
No, I don't think so. We're below 800, I bet, today.
Okay, well, anyway, this is 25 years from now. It's going to be the same?
No, it's going up. Big
It's
enough.
not going to be the same. I mean, they have a little table in here with people dying, and people getting born, and what people moving in. And
People moving out.
so they have more, they have 44 births, 50 deaths, 49 people moving in. That's in the last 10 years. So only 43 people positive, we have net positive.
In the last 20 years, right?
From 2010 to 19, in that 10-year period. That
Yeah,
was
we just-
before COVID, so,
We just broke through 750.
yeah, because we just added, what, 100 people during COVID, so.
And now, when we're losing people, right, they're going back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It
why the
seems like-
houses are on the market?
So anyway, what we have in here is 820 now. We just said 900,
Yeah.
which
Not
is
a huge.
a 10% increase
Yeah.
in the next 10 years.
I mean, if we really thought there would be tremendous growth, then that would impact the whole plan.
Yep.
So unless there's some reason to think there's going to be a huge change one way or the other, I don't think it really impacts the plan.
Right.
So that's fine.
And we did put in 40 to 50 additional dwelling units. So if you
Yeah.
believe 80 people, that's like 30 houses, and then you get another 10 to 20 ADUs or something. It's kind of like in the ballpark at least. It's not like 200, I don't think.
And that many houses could be accommodated by existing lots, we think. That is, if there was no place to put 40 to 50 houses, then I think the plan would need to talk about how we're gonna deal with 40 to 50 more houses.
Yeah.
But we don't have that issue, I don't think, right?
Along 109 and Governor's Road, there are only 34 parcels that have no buildings on it.
But we're gonna get a lot of ADUs now.
Possibly, yeah.
Right, well, that would limit the land use in new developments, possibly, right?
The numbers are fine, right? They're still all reasonable.
Yeah, I guess that's the point. Yeah. We can quibble over 20 or 30 people, but I don't think it's gonna change anything.
I mean, I had just some minor little edits, but I don't know that this is the right time to bring them up and walk through.
Why not, sure.
Okay. Executive summary, the third bullet there.
Do you have the page number?
Yeah, well, it's executive summary, so I guess
V.
that's page,
Do you have the page
Romanet
number?
5.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
What is it?
V, page 5,
yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah, there's 4 bullets in the middle of that page. The third bullet, the way it reads, kind of sounds like we're going to approve a lot of changes. New development will need to be reviewed and approved if it is consistent. Maybe just say only if it is consistent with
Yeah.
master plan policies.
Works for me.
Does it? Let's see if it's still there. The next page, there was a typo.
Oh, that's the access one?
Yeah. Where is it? Master plan. Oh, yeah. The next page in the middle, in the italicized language of the paragraph, it says the master plan shall be a public record. Pertaining to access, it should say access to public records.
We didn't write that, we copied that from the old one.
Yeah.
That was a cut and paste.
Let's see, the next page, 1013, I'm sorry, 2 more pages down.
1013?
Yeah,
Yep.
first full paragraph, master planning process aimed at achieving a quality residential. I think the word community should come after residential. A quality residential community.
What page are you
101-3.
And I would put in part after means, so achieving a quality residential community means, comma, in part, comma, and then continue.
Great.
We'll need to put a date in when we approve this on the next page, but that'll happen. Sorry, I know these are kind of nitty.
No, this is, we don't want Laura
Nitty-gritty
us
stuff.
$80 an hour to do the same.
So, right. 2016, this relates to the capital improvement plan, which you guys just, capital improvement program, which we don't have. So there's a couple places where this talks about things being consistent with our CIP. I just think we should add if any in parentheses. It implies that we have one,
Yeah, you're right.
and we may not, and we don't right now. Okay, now I'm on 20210.
20110?
20210. Let's see, rural, what was this thing? Oh, at the very top, it says rural character will be maintained. I feel like in a number of cases, we have agriculture. And given our last meeting, I thought maybe we should say rural and agricultural
Yep.
character will be maintained.
I think we intended to do that everywhere except rural.
Yeah.
Just 1 or 2.
Let's see. 2031, number 8. Bottom of the page. Educational opportunities for the residents of Brookfield should be promoted so they understand the needs and benefits. Instead of conserving open space, I thought we could say benefits of preserving the town's historical and cultural resources. Since that's the section we're in. Didn't make that up, right?
One more time?
Understand the needs and benefits of preserving the town's historical and cultural resources instead of conserving open space.
Much better.
Yeah, so on 2042, in the middle of the page, there's a reference to the capital improvement program, it says, impact fees will be driven by Brookfield's capital improvement program. I didn't understand what that meant. Does anyone understand what that means? What are impact fees?
So you can charge a subdivision if you're gonna put in,
Yeah.
certain new water.
Or if you want
Town wells or
so much per lot.
Yeah. So how would that be how does that happen?
Planning board decides that for subdivisions.
So they would apply, we'd have a fee, so,
What does that have to do with the CIP though?
yeah. Yeah, what would that have to do with the CIP?
If you had a sewer system, right, and you overload the sewer system, that's where your capital improvement plan. We don't have that. So there, you could have an impact fee because of a load on the sewer system.
Or if
What a
they
lot.
needed to upgrade the road, it was class 6 and you wanted them to upgrade the road.
What if we just say driven by the need for capital improvement in small letters?
We could do that, or we could say consistent with any capital improvement program. Yeah, that's fine, what you said, that's good.
Driven by the need for capital improvement.
Yeah. And how are we so Appendix D is a table.
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
We're gonna-
Yeah, that'll be something that SRPC will give us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, looks like I'm almost done.
That's great.
2054, I think there's just a little typo somewhere. At the very top of 2054, there's a closed paren that's sort of out of place. It just needs to be deleted. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Yep.
Find these punctuation marks that are wrong.
Time for a lawyer joke.
Yeah. Land use areas, this is 2055. This is really a question, I guess. In recreational area, land use, so that would be Moose Mountain, right? Off-highway recreational vehicles and snowmobiles, except as defined in RSA, will not be permitted. No camping of any type will be permitted. Given what's been approved there, I wasn't sure, I didn't quite understand why this said snowmobiles are not permitted.
So I think 215A7.
And I don't know what
certain
the-
areas.
Yeah. So that probably covers it?
I think so. I remember
Okay.
looking it up. And there is a snowmobile trail that goes up there.
Yes, I knew that. Yeah, I wanted to make sure we were consistent, because I know snowmobiles are there.
So does it say in our ordinances under conditional uses, that camping isn't on that list, or is it?
It requires a conditional use permit. Remember they were talking at the public hearing
Right.
about...
I mean, should we take that statement, that sentence out about camping? Because it might be.
It could be if they apply and they get approved, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that out.
Oh, I would take that out. So did we, sorry, this is 2056. Residential, so number 2, residential agricultural area, 5-acre density. I wasn't sure, the general says residential agricultural, a lower density of new development will be expected to occur in this area. I don't understand what that, I mean, everything is 5 acres now, so do we need to change this? I think maybe this was written when we had 2 acres and 5 acres.
2 acres, period.
Okay,
Town needs to be 2 acres only.
But we still have 2 acres.
so what did we do to this section? All we did was change 2 to 5 and left the words alone?
The Cedar Park is still 2 acres.
Hmm.
So maybe this should say, instead of 2 to 5, it should say 2. And that should apply to Cedar Park. No?
Cedar Park is all developed, I mean, it was approved with the 2-acre lots. So there'd be pre-existing non-conforming lots anyway.
There's a couple of lots that could be divided.
There is,
Something, yeah.
okay.
I mean, do we need it? Number 1 on the previous page is residential agricultural 2 to 5 acres, which is everything, right? So do we need a section on just 5 acres?
Unless that means between 2 and 5.
Less than 5?
Less than 5.
Yeah, okay.
What if, can we change that to less than 5?
I see, okay, so maybe that all works.
Because
I
Cedar
just got
Park is
confused
2.
by it. Yeah,
There may be a 5-acre piece down there that could subdivide
okay.
Well, there's a 20-acre.
in Cedar Park, yeah.
But in the 5-acre, number 2, we talk about this area being agricultural and areas that have not been built out due to steep slopes, very poorly drained soil. That's really not the case anymore. Almost everything is 5 acres.
Mhm.
We're at. Maybe it's the description of area included that I find is kind of inconsistent with what our existing things are.
Yeah.
That's gonna
You know,
go-
maybe we just say everything that's not less than 5. That's the area included,
Mhm.
instead of trying to describe it as having some unique characteristics.
Yep.
And that area included, that's gonna be all deleted, taken out.
Yeah, take that out and just say,
Because it's highlighted?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yep.
You're gonna do,
Anything highlighted is gonna be deleted, right?
No,
I think
that's
they-
what we changed.
Yeah.
So you put your change, okay.
how do we change that? Maybe not.
yeah, maybe just say, you know, everything that's not,
Everything that's not
all other agricultural area not included in number 1,
Yeah,
is something like that.
that's good.
And then, at the bottom of that page,
So we're getting rid of this?
No.
Changing it.
no, just number 2, where area of included, we'll just say all other agricultural and residential area. And then number 3, recreational area. General or recreational area is the, I think only shouldn't be there, is the land area associated with the former ski resort in town.
There's the ski resort and the adjacent lot, there's 2 lots there. So when you say ski area, you're just talking,
Okay,
so.
maybe we could say that.
The wording's gonna be, Moose Mountain Pit is part of the recreation area also, I believe.
Ski area, the former ski resort and associated lots.
That's fine. Because there's more than just that one.
folks. 2062. It talks about a transportation improvement program. Brookfield should prepare an up-to-date TIP and revise it annually. Do we even have that? What is that? Never heard of it? I don't know if we need, if this has to be in here, or it just makes it sound like it's something the town should be doing every year. You know,
Can you read it again?
Brookfield should prepare an up-to-date transportation improvement plan,
Wait, what's,
TIP,
oh, then that's what it is.
and revise it annually.
Well.
Or we could
Did you
ask
consider
Laura.
road maintenance under TIP? Since
No, I
it's
think they were talking about
transportation?
bus service. They tried a few years ago to bring coast bus service. Out of SRPC, they had a transportation.
Right. So we don't need that at all, right?
I don't know, or we could plan on SRPC's plan for transportation, but I think currently, I don't think there's a plan for coming out to Wakefield or Brookfield. Just wasn't, the demand wasn't there.
Maybe we just strike it. Or we could ask Laura, is this something you recommend having? Because
Strike it
we've
sounds
never
good.
done it.
Strike it, sounds good. And she can tell us to put it back in. Is it going to be 2071? There's this repeated language about fees, impact fee ordinances. Let's see, this is in B2 on page 2071.
Well, we don't have a capital improvement program, so.
What if we strike the last part of that after the comma? And we say, the person initiating the development may be required to provide for offsetting the impact.
Yep,
That sounds good.
great. And then C1, capital improvement plan, the town will prepare a CIP. Should it just say the town may prepare a CIP?
Makes sense, right?
And then, let's see, 2074 at the very end.
What's the downside of having a CIP?
There was no value in it. We were provided to the planning board would give it right back to the selectmen because whoever was responsible to prepare it didn't have the resources to do it. It was just,
Round and round for
At the end, so for the town office, we have a statement that says, design in addition to the town office to accommodate necessary office space.
Strike it.
Is that old? Do we need it? Do you want it?
I'd leave it. I think we're still looking for office space.
Okay.
The master plan, right, it's gonna happen someday. When we can afford it.
Well, when you head on to the south lip, you can put something down there.
Yeah.
I'll give up the bittersweet first.
Yeah. That's it. Thanks for
Thank
your
you,
patience.
No, that was great, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
I don't think we need a motion, but everybody's good with those changes to send it down to Laura? No. And you'll send a revised copy to SRPC.
I was gonna say, so how,
Once
How
I
would
make
you
these
do it?
changes, I'll email them to everybody and.
I know, but how am I gonna know when I pick up this and I pick up the next one? How am I gonna
It'll
know?
be highlighted, or track changes.
So you're gonna say version 2 or something? I mean,
Put a
how do
date
we
on
have
it.
version control here,
Put
so?
a date on the bottom. Let the machine put a date on it.
You know what else would be helpful? Can we just number the pages instead of this goofy thing they got here?
Do both, right?
Yeah. It would be helpful, then we could just say,
Let the
Page
system,
12.
Anything else on master plan? That was you. We can probably deal with these proposed ordinances quickly because we have a couple of months, but the first one, obviously we want to amend any changes in RSAs that have been passed. There's 4 of them listed here about the ADUs, the class 6 stuff, some driveways. The noise ordinance, we will deal with that once we hear back on Moose Mountain, and we can craft language around a more general noise ordinance at that point.
So Ed, let me just ask, because I mentioned that to SRPC. So if we don't want them to do that, which is fine with me, then I won't have them do that.
I don't think we need it right now.
Because maybe Laura can just write some, I mean,
Yeah,
again,
I don't think we need that.
$300 an hour versus.
Yes.
Anyway.
Conceptual consultation, we talked about, that could be a warrant article. We need to vote on whether we want it there or not, but that would require people to come here before they put an application in for a subdivision or what have you. We also talked about a sign ordinance, and we can get some representative language from other towns. And then Soul Smart, there's a thing in your packet, which I sort of summarized it here with these 3 bullets. These were the 3 things they suggested. So again, we can talk about this when we get to the warrants, I think.
I'd like to add another one for consideration. Given that we're allowing building on class 6 roads next year, and we have ADUs that can be any place on a lot, I think we should require a driveway to all dwellings. Today, we require a driveway permit, but not a driveway. We have to demonstrate a driveway could go in, but we don't require the actual driveway to be present.
12 dwellings?
Dwellings, yes. Including ADUs, if an ADU's out back someplace, which it can be, you have to get a fire equipment to it or an ambulance to it.
Yep. Okay, that's good.
So how do we move this ball? All of this, because it's,
We write warrant language and we send it to Laura and she approves it, and it goes on the ballot and it gets voted in or out by.
so how do we take a first pass at this stuff, or how do we divide and conquer, or how do we do this? Because it'll be December and we'll be in the same boat like we are every year, right?
We don't need it till January, but
I know.
I think it's pretty straightforward to make things consistent with the state.
Yeah.
The noise ordinance, we'll determine that once we get Moose Mountain. Conceptual consultation, signs, we just borrow it from somebody else. I mean, I think we can.
I question why we're making changes to our zoning ordinance. I mean, we went through that a couple of years ago, and I thought it was working well with respect to, if you want to put a solar panel in, come talk to us if it's in your front
We're
yard.
going to vote on this. I'm not saying this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
I think we need to open it up to discussion, and if we don't think we should change anything with our solar ordinance, fine. Well, we can talk about that. October, November, I think, and then write the language.
Okay.
Try to get it to her, before January 15th, because she's got 50 other towns sending her stuff. So if we could get it to her, if we could get some good language, proposed language by the November meeting, I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, our deadlines are a hearing, and we have to get it into the town report.
So what is the deadline of the town?
Town report, well, we want to hold to mid-January, really, because we have to get to a printer. But once we decide, I don't think it's difficult to write them. Are you in favor of changing this part of our zoning to be the following?
I've got 2 or 3 of them already written, so.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, then I would say, let's talk about it in October, I guess, huh? Or not?
I do them all at once. We
That's what I
put
mean.
more stuff together. Well, they're not all written. I think we have master plan and other stuff priority right now.
Now, my question, are there any other ones we should consider?
Yeah,
That's
that's why I put it on the agenda every time, is looking for ideas. Anything you run across before, Jim?
It was a long time ago, so I can't say.
Well, I think the big thing is just making everything consistent with the state.
The other thing we should look at, and it's been an issue with people, our regulation of farms. We use the state's regulation of agritourism, their definition. And whatever they change, we go along with it. And if we're happy with it, that's great. But it's very, very broad. Do we want to have any sort of restrictions or conditions on agritourism and farming in town? The other issue that the selectmen are getting feedback on is we have communities now, small little communities in town. We have a little development. And someone will say, he or she is doing this, which would be fine on a 5-acre lot or a 10-acre lot. But you're on a 2-acre lot, and you got neighbors right next door. And people aren't happy about some of the things that are going on, and our zoning allows it. So do we want to consider, it's difficult to do, to have zoning for neighborhoods, if you will.
You need extra zoning overlay districts and...
Or based upon the lot size. I mean, if you have a 5-acre lot, you could do some things that may not be acceptable on a 2-acre lot. It comes up all the time. So-and-so is doing this right next door. They're allowed.
So give us some examples.
They're camping, they bring a camper and they want to camp on their lot. But it's right next door. You're allowed. They have campfires at their campsite. They're allowed. If it's a 5-acre lot someplace or a 10-acre lot, no one cares. But when it's in your backyard, you say, what are they doing?
And the solution now is only if it gets out of hand, we call the police.
Yeah. And they're not going to do anything because it's a lab. So it's a noise. No, it's not noise.
Is it light with the fire? Is it light?
It's noise. It's noise and
It
just,
is noise.
it's noise. And what do you do to my property values when you got a campsite next to me?
Yeah. Well, it goes to the noise ordinance, that's why I asked it. That might be covered by, if we ever had one.
It's the camper. That really is the people buy a lot and they camp on it. We allow that. You camp on it as long as you don't live there for more than six months. Go for it.
Those eventually turn into houses.
Well, that's different. I mean, if they can come to the select and say, we want to live in it, we're going to build a house, we're going to building permit, go for it. Because there's an end date.
But eventually it will turn into a house, even if they just bought it to camp on. Eventually it will turn into a house.
Maybe.
It may be 15, 20 years down the road, but it will eventually turn into a house.
So you're saying people buy a lot and they put a camper up and they
Use it.
Yeah.
use it?
Yeah,
It
use it.
seems reasonable to me.
You don't live next door.
Yeah, that's right. Now, picture it next door. Right? This is the feedback we get.
None of the neighborhoods have homeowners associations, right? I mean, it almost sounds like the kind of complaint you're getting is the kind of thing you'd have if you lived in a suburb in the city and there was a HOA and there were rules about what color you could paint your shutters.
No, we don't have.
Nobody has.
Like, does Kate's Lane have, I know they have a group, for example,
Informal.
but there's no HOA or anything, so.
Yeah.
Not Kate's Lane, I mean, True Farm. They have a group with a president and vice president.
Yes, yes. It's not really an HOA, it's some guidelines, some
Yeah.
covenants.
Yeah.
All right, more on that later, I guess. Last thing I had, just an email reminder, do not send emails to the entire board. It's okay, as long as there's not a quorum on the email, it's fine. to, communicate one-on-one or whatever. Because no decision's going to be made by email except at a public meeting.
Is BCC okay?
It is.
So that you alert everyone, hey, I want to bring this up at the meeting?
Yep.
Just FYI.
But no decision should be made at all
Yeah,
by
yeah,
email.
no.
It should be, can you put this on the agenda? Does everybody agree?
Yeah,
Don't put, does everybody agree? Just,
right.
can we put this on the agenda?
With the email that I had sent out before I was counseled, if I had put on, could this be put on the agenda, that would have been appropriate?
If it was BCC. Just in the body of the email, do not have the whole board, or more than a quorum, right, quorum or more. Any other member comments?
Yeah. I believe everyone got a copy of what I was brazenly thinking. It was kind of brought up by one of the, I think it was Kenny, and making a specific zone for housing to help with the housing crisis that we have within New Hampshire, the country, and everything else. I thought of taking only Governor's Road and 109. Those are both state roads, so Brookfield would not be responsible for any road repairs or anything like that. But all along those two roads only, drop it back to a 2-acre parcel for housing. By doing that, I think we could still maintain our rural, what's the word? Rural composition.
Character.
Rural character, excellent, thank you. And we would be part of the solution, and but it would only be something that we can do for the state, and we wouldn't be part of the problem. They wouldn't start saying that, hey, Brookfield, you're eliminating a lot of things. They were saying, okay, you've put this up. I did some statistics, and along Governor's Road and 109, there are only 34 parcels that have no buildings on. Grand total of parcels along that area is 183. So we're only talking over 19% they could be built on.
So are some of those quite large?
Yeah.
Because if we drop it down to 2, then you could have a lot more than 34.
No, I did. I looked it up.
Oh, that's already after you worked it out.
Yeah. 2 acres, there are 9 of them within a house. 4 to 10 acres, there are only 11 parcels. 11 to 30 acres, there's only 3. 31 to 99 acres, there are 4. Over 100 acres, there are 7.
So someone could take a 100-acre piece, blow in a road and have 2-acre lots?
They could,
Possibly.
and that would be appropriate, but we're not talking about the rural atmosphere of Brookfield, but it's along the major roads coming in and through.
And if you're limit your zone to 500 feet from the road on either side, then they'd have to come in for a special exception to do all 100 acres on 2 acres.
Yeah.
Or they could do, maybe cluster the 2 acres on the 500 acres and have the back as conservation or something.
Yeah. But if we went ahead and did that, we would be part of the solution, not part of the criticality, in terms of state.
Well, I think that's a good idea. If you zone for something, then they can't say, well, you're discriminating
Right.
against us, so.
Lyford Road is part of, it's owned by part of the state. I did not include that at all because it's not the full road.
Right.
That we don't want to have things confusing. be along 109 and Governor's Road.
So years ago, Wolfboro didn't have a X-rated zone, and they were worried about X-rated stores coming in, and they could be anywhere in the town. So they zoned an area for X-rated business, and it was very specific, and of course it never came about. I mean, the zone is there, but no one ever did anything, but they could have. So if you zone it, then they can't say,
Yeah, we're being discriminated. So it's a thought that I had. I've got statistics here. I went to the GIS map and looked up every piece of property, all 183 of them, and figured out, okay, who has how many acres. I rounded everything down. So 4.4 acres is 4 acres. And that's the statistics that I came up with, assuming that GIS is accurate. It's pretty much.
It's close.
Yeah.
And
And I only found one piece of...
would you propose this being a warrant article, the planning board supports?
Yes.
So this has nothing to do with the workforce housing we talked about?
No,
This is a separate thing?
it would be something entirely separate. It'd be separate from the ADUs.
Can you share the stats with me so I can share them with everyone else?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, I've got this one here. I think it may be a little more, I've added an additional column. I can go ahead, Paul, we can make a copy here and hand it to everyone.
Okay.
You've got the latest one.
Yeah.
Joe, how many, did you figure out how many additional dwelling units there could be compared to what there could be now? Does that make sense?
You can pass it.
Question, what's the road frontage you're going to put with that?
Excuse me?
What's the road frontage you're going to put with that 2 acres?
I didn't figure out any of that information.
I asked because, as an example, my property qualified to have a 2-acre lot taken off of it with over 500 feet of road frontage. Since the zoning change, I cannot, which is a $150,000 impact to my personal wealth. So if you go back to 250 feet for that 2-acre lot, I'd be very happy because I just would make my $150,000 back, which you took away from me at the last town meeting.
That's something that we'd have to look at and write into the warrant article.
I think 400 feet road frontage for a 2-acre lot is kind of excessive.
I do too.
I mean,
250 was more than adequate.
Yeah, so that's something that we'd have to look at.
So your numbers would be slightly off is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the number of new properties that could be
They need-
developed.
Like
Because right now I'm going to put an ADU on that property.
Uh-huh.
I already have my driveway permit there.
One of the House bills that passed also, it gives expedited driveway permits for developments of 20 or more units. Just for what it's worth.
and if we did what he's proposing, that would be a state road, so the state would be issuing that, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I just limited it to those two roads.
So what are you trying to accomplish?
Making Brookfield a little more pleasant for people, coming in and not looking for large pieces of property. We can, then they can build a house in 2 acres.
So why shouldn't we go 1 acre with 100 feet of frontage?
That's a possibility, but before we were at 2 acres.
So what's the problem we're trying to solve? And I understand 2 and maybe 250, but why don't we go 1 acre? If you want to support development, maybe the thing is scale it back and go 1 acre and 100 feet development, then you can get some development done. You know, just something to consider, right?
Good suggestion.
That's not just to think about, right?
Yeah, something for all of us to think about.
What do the people of Brookfield want? You think they would go for that?
No.
I don't think so.
We just voted to go from 2 to 5.
I know.
Like 55, 45.
But
60.
the point is, if the state comes in to help, to get ahead of it, you put something on the books to get ahead of that.
I don't understand that. What do you mean, get ahead of the
So
state?
the state could argue, because of our zoning, we're
Yeah.
we're discriminating against a whole class of people, because it's expensive to buy a 5-acre lot. But if you had a whole host of small acre lots, small acreage,
Well, the state, I don't know what you mean by discriminating, but the state, there's proposals, right, to change, to
Yes.
force smaller lot sizes on everybody.
yes,
Right.
So I don't know why, that could happen, whether we do anything or not.
that's right.
So whether we do something isn't, I don't think, going to have any impact. It's not like they're singling out Brookfield or other super small towns. That I understand, it's across the board.
There's a House bill and a Senate bill that are going to be discussed in September. You'd probably move forward, probably not voted on, but either one of those could force smaller lot sizes on towns
Yes,
if they pass.
much smaller than 2 acres.
I would probably wait until we see what happens with SB 84 and HB 459 before we do anything, but
The proposal that a lot size can be constrained only by the room it needs for a septic system and a well. So that could be 1 acre.
That could be half an acre.
Hmm?
That could be half an acre.
Sure. So that's what they're talking about putting through the state now. So that would be that's the minimum size. Be a lot of
the other thing to consider, and it's a state road in this proposal, let's say, but is how many curb cuts do you want? And how much, how many people moving out into the road versus allowing a subdivision which, like Cedar Park, there's one road. How many houses, 30, 40, whatever it is. To me, that sounds way more consistent with our character of the town, rather than have driveway, 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 driveway. So we can maybe think about that development that way as well.
Could we add that developments of whatever size have to have however much of a buffer too?
Yep. Or frontage and or buffer, yeah. And there's a lot of wetlands in town too, so that would
Mhm.
act as a natural inhibitor, I guess is the word. So I don't think we need to vote on it. We can talk about that when we talk about the warrant language.
Mhm.
If you want to maybe just jot some stuff down. I can just take it from your email, I guess, for the next
Okay.
agenda.
Well, what I can do, I can take off, my initial page and send out the revised one that I, did a little more research on.
Okay.
Because the revised one just has, who has a house, who has a building on it and who doesn't. Because if someone's got a building and they've got 5 acres, it's rare, except for Steve, that they would want to go ahead and split things up. Because most people are content. I'm, 4.7 acres, and it's like, ooh, I could do 2. No. Happy with what I got. I like to mow for 3.5 hours.
Do an ADU though. Yeah, I mean, it may have less impact than we think, just given the ADU rules now, but
Mhm.
like you were saying. All right, well, we'll take that up when we do the warrants in the next meeting or two. Anything else before we adjourn? Next meeting, October 13th, 6 o'clock. Meeting adjourned at 7:40.
Oh, one thing I don't think everyone knew that Chris had talked to the state and asked them to, trim back some of the vegetation and such. And I think he was the instigator in getting part of that done.
They were cut down.
A lot of stuff.
Now, let's see.
This group was way better than the last one. These Warwick guys, the Lewis guys.
Yeah.
The Lewis guys came down Pinkham Way 15 times, 20 times. They'd eat lunch and they'd throw their trash on the side of the road. And they cut like 3 little branches,